You are watching NOPCOMMERCE Easy Setup with NOP Studio. I'm David and this is Coach.Fm. Alright, Coach.Fm, simplifying growth from one to more. You can catch me on Facebook. Go to Facebook's, we got a page at www.coach.fm and on Twitter without the dots at www.coach.fm. So in the last step, we got into our first NOPCOMMERCE instance and database running all nice and smooth. Now we're going to take that connection to the database and we're going to use what I put together. It's some custom code. I call it NOP Studio, and we're going to see what's inside the database. Warning, if you have an existing production database, production NOPCOMMERCE, don't use this. Lay low, go slow. Test out, know what you're doing, get good advice, and please be careful. This is custom code, and with any kind of code, with any kind of new application, there could be bugs. There could be issues that are just surprise. That happens. Again, we're going to go slow because we're going to talk about a lot of technical stuff that a lot of the new guys are just not familiar with. So if you are experienced, put the video on 2 times fast. But we're going to take this nice and slow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch NOP Studio. Now my server name, this is the server name for the database. Now let's go back to Azure, and on this whole left side navigation, I'm going to click on SQL databases. Hold on, I need to save the changes that I made. And if you don't remember, what I did was I made sure that the always on is on. That's all. Now I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I'm going to go to SQL databases. Now I've launched a lot of stuff here. I'm going to just focus on the one that I just did, the super simple database. And it's on my Coach.Fm server. Pardon again, I have a very small resolution for the folks of you, or for you guys that are on a cell phone. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy the server name. That's where that comes from. Again, this is not the server for the website. It's the server for the database. Let's go back to NOP Studio and let's paste that in. Now, my database name is super simple. Your database name is whatever you named it. If you named it something long and complicated, copy and paste it. Capitals usually doesn't make a difference. Now, I used team for my database login name, and I should have a big long password. Remember that. And let's go ahead and see what's inside. Micro Studio is the name of the framework that we are in. We have a set of custom code apps, lots and lots and lots of custom code apps within the Micro Studio framework. Okay. The default username is system, and the default password. I'm going to type this out right here for you guys. It's MIRC. There you go. This is the default password. Micro Studio, capital M, capital S, and 0 in the back. Now, yes, you can change this, and you probably should. If you guys have some ideas on some custom code, send them over. We have a very large network of very professional coders and programmers and architects who can probably churn something out for you. Most issues we can knock them out in between 1 and 3 days. Nop Studio was a crazy idea I had, and I put it together in like 2 or 3 days. It works. It gets what I needed to get done. I am constantly developing it. If you guys have some cool ideas to add to it, let me know. Again, I'm not going to cut this video through. The first time you open a database, the first time you do this kind of stuff, it takes time. So I want you guys to get a real feel for exactly how long it takes to do this kind of a thing. I'm working on a really small resolution right now. The bottom's got like some statuses running and stuff. You guys can see it on yours, but if you're watching the video, it's like, why is it nothing happening? It's because the resolution is small and there's like stuff down there that's happening that it just didn't fit within the frame. While that's opening up, here's what we can do. Let's go over here and let's go to catalog, products, and let's go ahead and add a product. Super simple product. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. I should have clicked add new, right? Again, running code on the database to break things out and using the website at the same time, it's going to be slow at start. No problem, it happens. All right, so product name, super simple product. And I'm going to go down and for the SKU, SSP, just for fun. I usually don't use this here. I usually use Micro Studio Coach because it's way easier. But just so you can see what's going on, I'm going to go ahead and save that because I have some demo data and I have the stuff that I'm typing right now. And we'll see how that looks in NOP Studio in a second. So I'm going to click save. Yep, that's because I'm writing stuff in. That happens. The first few days of working with NOPCOMMERCE, that's what happens when you're working with open source and your own thing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just working it out. Okay, we're 10 minutes in. That's normal. Breaking down new tables, setting stuff up, it's normal. If you're impatient, and just skim forward. But I'm going to wait this out. Okay, we're good to go. Okay, so now we are looking at the backside. We're looking directly at the database records. And here are the products. We've got 45. And there's some really interesting things that you can see. So the intent here is for you to be able to see exactly what's going on. And then you can get the data out if you need it. So in the AI folder, we've got something called jobs. And what you can do is you can set schedules. So you can bring stuff out. I have a few jobs that I usually pull out. Like, for example, if I have a virtual assistant somewhere in the world making new products for me and I need to get a list of those products back to Micro Studio Coach, this is where I do it. If I want to see how many customers are currently in the database, here's how to do it. So you get a real quick peek of what's going on in real time on the most important tables in your database. Now, yes, for you technically inclined people, yes, you technically could use SSPS and look at the database tables directly. But the added value of being able to use a tool like NOP Studio is you can very quickly set rules. You can set up super simple export jobs. No code, no database, just, anybody with basic write email capability, you can come in here and get some data out. Microsoft has got some really cool tools like Power BI and all this great stuff. A lot of good stuff out there. There's actually another application out there that I like to use called NOP Admin. But sometimes I still, there's a couple of things that they don't have. Like if I don't know, I like to, if I see a problem with my shop, I got a couple of things here I can do to work on it in one space, and I don't have to split my attention to a bunch of different areas. Okay, let's get back to the point. You've got tables here. The most common things that I use are, for example, the product picture mapping. That's important. The URL records, and we have variant views. I created a variant view specifically for importing back into Micro Studio Coach. And here's a list that's ready to export, ready to go. And I could just right click and click export to, and I can export it however I want to do. I can even make a report if I want to. I'm going to just click CSV just so you guys can see how this works. And I'm going to export this to the desktop just like that. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Now, I just happen to have Micro Studio Coach open. And I'll show you guys how that works. Okay. In offer delegates, now let's go to offer repositories. Now for USA, NOPCOMMERCE, because this is a global scale application and you want to be able to manage multiple countries' offers, so US, NOPCOMMERCE. There's a couple of things we can do. Here are the slugs, that's important. Let's open that up. The URL record product. URL record for products. Now what I did was I took the URL record, which contains a lot of different kinds of records, and I made a variant view which sorts so that it only contains products. And then at Micro Studio Coach, I have an object called the NOP URL record, and then I also have a child object which inherits from the main URL record called URL record product. For you people, for you guys that are completely new to inheritance and don't worry so much, they're just connected, they're related. We'll get into more specifics in a follow-up video. I'm going to just, wait, I just exported to CSV, huh? So if I wanted to do that, we can import. Right now the import functionality works with only XLSX, Excel. Export to XLSX. Okay, now I got this Excel file. There's a somewhat of an awkward bug. I'm going to turn that filter off. The job works. If you're doing it manually, you're going to have to turn it off. But for the auto job, it works smooth. I'm just manually doing it so you guys can see what it looks like done manually. So I'm going to go to import, desktop. Here we go. I do have a header row. Next, I'm going to auto map identical headers. And next, And I'm going to hit import that. And we just manually took data from NOP Studio, the database on NOPCOMMERCE, and we took that real-time data and imported it back to MicroStudio Coach. And that's exactly what I want to do. Because if I have people all over the world in different teams managing different catalogs, I want to be able to automate pulling that data back into my central system. Now you can do it manually, or you can set a job up. So this is a really quick example. We're going to deep dive on the next few sessions. But this is a really good introduction to setting up your NOPCOMMERCE instance quickly, easily. Get that data out and back into your own main system. There you go. So, custom code. Sometimes you just got to go custom code. As long as you got people like me around the world that are ready to help out, if you got a really good idea, being able to execute on it, scale up and scale out, is really becoming easy, simple, and fast. This is enough for this recording here. I'll follow up on the next one.